this morning with a breaking news alert.
We continue to follow breaking news at this hour. The search is not over. 44 News confirmed the search will continue for the convicted killer who escaped an Ohio correctional facility. And as that search continues, police warn Henderson residents to lock their doors, turn on your exterior lights, and stay vigilant for the man that you see here, Bradley Gillespie. Now, Wednesday's search exhaustive as crews took to the air, the water, and the ground. Law enforcement is currently searching the Hayes boat ramp and the Ohio River as of this morning. That's close to where the escaped inmates crashed a stolen car near Camaro Court. 44 News Morning anchor Tommy Mason, he is live at the scene of Atkinson Park at this hour. Tommy, what can you tell us?
Well, law enforcement not giving much of an update this morning, but I can tell you that that concentrated effort is indeed near Hayes Boat Ramp at a residential area as well as Atkinson Park just west of the Highway 41 Henderson Strip. And, of course, we know how busy that is. Normal life, again, on a Thursday morning continues here in Henderson. I mean, folks are showing up to work. We've got residents leaving their homes, going to their workplaces. School is out, luckily. Of course, the last day of school was earlier this week. So those things, those normalcies have changed just a bit. But normal life happening here in the Henderson area. If you go to any restaurant or if you're on the Henderson Strip, people are talking about this. I was just in a McDonald's a while back getting our photog, who's been very loyal to stay in her overnight, getting him a cup of coffee. And, of course, the ladies there asking, you know, are you here for that search? Everybody knows about this. Everybody knows about that reward, and everybody knows about Bradley Gillespie and his background, a double murderer wanted out of Northwest Ohio after he escaped from a prison facility on Tuesday with an accomplice, James Lee. He was immediately apprehended. He was the driver of the vehicle that was initially trying to be stopped by HPD on Highway 41. That led to a short pursuit that ended on Camaro Court. They busted through the privacy fence of a home there, and then the two left on foot. But again, James Lee immediately apprehended. Now, as far as Bradley Gillespie's concerned, he's 6'2", said to be 200 pounds, has facial hair. He is also bald. Some of his clothing was described as dark at the time. We also know they found some of that clothing. Maybe he was trying to shed it. Maybe it was ripped as he, jumped a fence or went through an area of foliage. But they did find remnants of clothing near the Hayes boat ramp on Wednesday. Also, they found a shoe just a couple blocks away from where he first took off out of that stolen vehicle when it crashed, just a couple of blocks away from that scene. So they have a reason to believe he has not left the Henderson area. We have no indication to think that there is a stolen vehicle that's occurred or a vehicle theft in the overnight hours that would have helped aid him to get out of the area. We also don't know of any carjacking. So they have reason to believe he's still in this area. He could be in the water. He could be on the ground. We don't know. But we do know they're using plane, or they're using helicopters, they're using drones, anything they can utilize to get that aerial look. Also on the waterways, they've brought in agencies from the U.S. Coast Guard, also Jasper Police, Sturgis Police, all these resources coming together to help find who is a very dangerous man. Bradley Gillespie still on the loose just 30 hours after that car initially crashed. And almost 2 days since they left that facility in Lima, Ohio. So we'll continue to update you if we learn anything more. We do know that it's been somewhat active at Atkinson Park today. We've seen some unmarked vehicles, some civilians kind of going in and out of these barricades. Also, we did notice some residents just walking their dogs on that park, too. They didn't feel unsafe to be in this area. But, again, Henderson Police and law enforcement as a whole urging the public to be vigilant, to report anything suspicious you see, and do not approach Bradley Gillespie. He is considered to be armed and dangerous as this search continues. Just outside Atkinson Park in Henderson, Tommy Mason, 44 News.
And we'll check back in with Tommy in just a few minutes. But today, out-of-state law enforcement agencies will continue their search on ground, as Tommy mentioned, for the convicted murderer who escaped. At this time, Henderson police do have assistance from the Henderson County Sheriff's Office and Kentucky State Police, as well as Jasper and Sturgis Police. Along with these local agencies, the U.S. Marshals, Ohio State Highway Patrol, and even the U.S. Coast Guard are all on the lookout combing that area. Take a look at this map. From Allen Oakwood Correctional Institution in Ohio to Camaro Court in Henderson, where they crashed, that's a total of 352 miles. Now, similar to last year's manhunt for Alabama fugitives, Casey and Vicky White. During a press conference Wednesday afternoon, law enforcement say they have not found any connection in this area as to why the inmates were in Henderson. And we've been digging into the escaped inmates Bradley Gillespie's background, and here's what we can tell you as of this morning. Gillespie was serving time after being found guilty of 2 murders in Paulding County, Ohio. A jury returned the guilty verdict for the murders of Hannah Fisher, then 21, and her boyfriend, Frank Tracy Jr., then 47. The trial lasted a week back in 2016. Gillespie was sentenced to a minimum prison sentence of 32 years for the murders. Law enforcement have captured the other escaped inmate who was traveling with Gillespie. James Lee is in the Henderson County Jail as of this morning. Now, according to officials, Lee has history of burglary and safe-cracking charges. Shortly after the two crashing yesterday, law enforcement had been able to arrest him. And with Gillespie still on the loose, officials are offering $21,000 to anyone who can offer information leading to Gillespie's whereabouts. If you do happen to spot anything on your Ring cameras or even security footage, let law enforcement know immediately. And if you're just now tuning in, we do want to break down a timeline of what we know so far. Now, Bradley Gillespie and James Lee, the two men, escaped from that correctional institute in Lima, Ohio. Jailers discovered the pair was missing from the prison as of around 11 o'clock Tuesday morning. Police here in Henderson spotted the car they were in around 3 Wednesday morning. The car crashed after a pursuit where they were able to arrest Lee. And then shortly before 9 yesterday morning, police found a piece of Gillespie's clothing in the area of Hayes Boat Ramp. You, of course, can stick with us on air and online as we provide you updates on the latest information as far as it comes to that escaped inmate and any details as to where the investigation stands as of this hour.